opened back in 2020. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Las Vegas Raiders. And we are underway here in Las Vegas. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. Right to the air is Carr. Catch made, it's Moreau. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. These two division rivals, a couple of late games on the schedule this year. Their first meeting, you might remember, was back in Week 10. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down. This defense for the Chiefs, they were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long. Step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one.
Throwing his Carr on third down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
Here's the Raiders punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And taken right at the 35. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Chiefs will have excellent field position here as they take over. He'll take this to the 46.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On 2nd and 7, Mahomes. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
No grounding call there. He had a receiver near the right sideline. It was pretty clear there. He just needed to get rid of that one.
And he did have a receiver in the area, but initially my view was obstructed, and I thought that was going to be grounding, but clearly the correct call made, and that is no call.
Is that why you threw your play sheet down? Is that why you did it? Was that the flag?
You can't be giving me up. I got a lot of issues up here in the booth. Throwing is Mahomes on third. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Duron Harmon. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. So the interception there. And, Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early, but it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way. And really, we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
A first down run there for Jacobs, but nothing doing as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. The Raiders had 1 and 14 now on the year. They come in needing just to do something to stop this skid here before the season ends.
And let's face it, everyone now, they're looking to the leaders, both in the locker room and the coaching staff and, of course, owners.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. It's Joshua Williams with a pick. And the Chiefs are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double-team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Now Mahomes. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory as they've got it to the 28-yard line. And here's a handoff out of the gun. Matthew Butler made the stop.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, he'll hand this off. Heck of a broken tackle, but only able to work this down near the 23. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Open man, it's the tight end Kelce. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a sharp throw right there on third down. They're looking to get the first points of the game, and they certainly don't want it to be on a field goal. So that's a nice job to get the hook up and set up a 1st and goal.
So 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco with his 14th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs are on the board first here in Vegas. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know that sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Zero hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, turn into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball, get it out to him.
And the Chiefs showing a dime look as they defend this 3rd down. After 7-0 on EA Sports. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On play action, now Carr. And able to complete it to Moreau. And he is going to have the Raiders 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I'll give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. He was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
Right now.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Jacobs. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
We often talk about understanding the playbook, understanding progressions, and understanding what the defense is doing. We saw all of that on that play. Great recognition and understood where his running back was going to be. Found a way to have him leak out underneath, hit him with the football, and they picked up the first down.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick six. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did and came through with a big-time pick six.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Makes the score Chiefs 14, Raiders nothing. Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10. Carr. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. That's George Karlaftis, who fought his way through the line to bury him.
Well, that's a big defensive stop there, and it takes away a lot of the momentum from the offense coming off that big completion to prior snap. Give big credit to the defense for bouncing back.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Here's Carr. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Working from the gun, it's Carr. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
Taken in at the 22. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the... There he goes, right side. The 40. The 20. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. We're talking about just coming in and completely seizing momentum. They can go up 21-0 here. We haven't even hit halftime.
And the other part of this, you can start to feel the unrest here in the stadium. I think these fans are saying, what hit us? And this isn't about fantasy points. This is about rooting their team on.
Now the extra point. And it is now 21-0.
Makes the score. Chiefs 21. Raiders nothing. Harrison Butker to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, I feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. If they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw at all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defensive credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he'll find Moreau here. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 43. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Carr. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Carr. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 27-yard line.
Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. Now Carr again. Flushed out right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. George Karlaftis. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
From the gun, it's Carr. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Facing this big first-half deficit, they keep the field goal unit on the sideline. They're going for it. They'll go for it. It's Carr. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Chiefs' defense comes up with a stop. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game, back to the ground. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. A big play there just before halftime. 52 yards. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Now here's Mahomes. Escaping the pressure right. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down.
And they'll give them another
another shot here on the ground. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
That was the kind of play that this defense needed because it has not been a good half for them on that side of the football. Maybe they can use that one to regroup a little bit and start to play a little bit better.
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick here is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve, as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter.
Daniel Carlson to kick off for Las Vegas.
The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They'll start this drive out on the ground. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Throwing now is Mahomes. Looking downfield for Kelsey. It got his man complete. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
When they needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground.
And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. 124 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material.
Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. And that's caught. It's Kelce. Touchdown, Kansas City. Travis Kelce with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year.
And the Chiefs take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
Next the score, Chiefs 31, Raiders nothing. Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And no thought to bring this one out. They'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Shotgun now for Carr. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Carr. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
Into the red zone, it's Carr. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They haven't been able to stop them so far this series, but getting a nice little stand from their defense now.
Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
Carr going to go on 4th down.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And the Chiefs are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter, it would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do. So I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
Throwing on 2nd down. Mahomes taking a deep shot here for Hardman. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown.
The one thing that we know for sure, do not question the arm strength of Patrick Mahomes, one of the strongest around.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
And you can see in the next-gen stats, that one 62 yards in the air.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
38. Raiders nothing. Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football. Things just kind of continuing to unravel for them here in this second half. They take the shot downfield, but this defense, once again, up to the task.
Well, this is where you think about the old phrase, desperate times call for desperate measures, because they've got nothing on the scoreboard, and they're just trying to get something, anything to go their way. But in this case, they turn the ball over.
Hey, 57, colors, Yellow.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 131 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing, because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The offense on 3rd down, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. Deron Harmon makes the tackle.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. To throw, it's Mahomes.
And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Well, up big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That passing incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so, and maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Carr going to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the 4th quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have a final drive to give them a little bit more hope as they move forward.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Back to throw again.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. To throw his Carr. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And now here's another interception.
Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And space opens a bit as he gets it across the 15 to the 17-yard line. 153 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. So fourth quarter, a nice run there to start this drive. Charles, what do you think the split will be here between run and pass?
Well, partner, I think it'll lean towards the run, but this is also not a time where you just totally do that. You still have to possess the ball, move the sticks, and keep the clock moving as well. So they'll run their offense. But, yeah, when they have a chance to run it, they'll do that a little bit more.
And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. Only a yard of the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
The Chiefs on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. They're going to be stopped up on this first down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And only a couple there up to about the 23-yard line. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. He's got his man. That's Hardman. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. 27 yards there on a very nice third down conversion.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the fourth quarter.
the gun. He'll hand this off. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10.
Yellow.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Finds his man. It's Kelsey on the crossing route here. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Give him 30 yards there.
First down, Kansas City.
So not just a blowout win for them today, Charles, but a shutout blowout win as well. Clearly just a superior effort on both sides of the ball.
Hey, didn't it feel like you get a touchdown, you get a touchdown, and then the defense jumped up and said, hold it. We're getting involved as well. You're exactly right. Big points, both sides contributing, a full team win.
So for the Chiefs, they improved to 11-5 now with 1 week remaining